Sanibonani, welcome back to another episode of Hearty Thursdays. Mama Zizwe Sibia, and I'm here to fill your hearts with art. In this podcast, we talk about art. We talk to the people that make the art, the people behind the people that make the art, and the people that make the art, but a lot of people don't know that they do. And today we are so excited to have Sipho Soqashe, who was also with us behind the scenes for season one. As our sound engineer. Welcome to the other side of set. How are you doing?
Me, I'm not used to being on this side. I'm used to being on the other side.
Are you well?
But I'm doing well. Yeah.
It's good.
Can't
Thank you so
complain.
much for coming. Please tell us a little about yourself. Who were you born?
About me, I was born in Joburg, and then exactly as a kid, I moved as a baby. Actually, I moved to Eastern Cape. Then I came back as a kid. So yeah, it's just been up and down, back and forth between Eastern Cape and Joburg. But most of my life has been in Joburg. And yeah, I love food. I love meat. I had to put that. It's also about me. Yeah.
Love food.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What sparked your love for music?
I don't know actually. Like as a kid, I used to be that guy who would make like weird sounds. And I went to machine and now boom boom boom. There's a beat in my head, and then they always had to tell me, okay, relax, and I'm free too. So I use music as an escape as a teenager. So it's always been there, and it's always been hard to describe what about it, but I feel it more than I know it.
How do you think you came across it? Like, did you grow up in a household where there was a lot of music
Of
or around
course,
people who were musicians?
of course. I think my grandfather was a dope musician. They say I never met him, but I think it stems from him. Yeah,
What kind of music did you make?
I know. Probably Mascani because they
Acoustic.
said yeah, I used to play
My
an
dad
acoustic
too.
guitar.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. They should have been in a band together. How's the Academy of Sound Engineering? What new skills or perspectives have you gained from being there?
Wow, that's a that question needs to be broken down. But in layman's terms, I think because I'm a passionate person about art, and then I see like the whole sound engineering part as a profession. So now they're teaching us to combine the two, make business out of them, so that we can make a living. It's not something that you just do it as a passion, yeah, but like make money out of it. Yeah,
Side job.
so that we don't hate it.
How's that going? How is it?
So far, so far it's more vibe because I'm still studying, but hopefully I'll be able to apply it as soon as I can. But so far it's been more like the admin. I discovered that I hate admin. You know.
You have to learn to love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'm just learning those, but trying to apply it wherever I can. There's these small things that like we always overlook as artists. Um, like like being a content creator, like to be a musician you have to be a content creator these days. I love music. I want to make music. Yeah, and now so like things like that. So
No, Shem, I get it. But you have to be multi-talented, especially when you're still like freelancing and still like building yourself and your community. It's you need to like learn the other skills
yeah,
as well.
I, I will get there
Yeah.
slowly but surely.
So tell us, how did your journey into like the live event technical world kick off?
Funny story actually. So before I got to Academy of Sound Engineering there, I was at this other institution. It's in Newtown, SARA, South African Roaders Association. But I thought I'm going there to study like music production. When I got there, it's like live sound, going to shows and blah blah blah. But I fell in love with that eventually, and then yeah,
Yeah, it was like, how did the journey with live event, like the live event
come
technical?
about
Yes.
yeah. Before Sarah, I didn't know nothing about live event.
And how was that? Like,
Helping at church, but that's about it. Yeah, well,
how is live how are live events different when it comes to sound?
yeah,
It's like everything is now.
yeah. And that's one thing I prefer studio more than live. Because in studio, you can always fix your mistake. In live, like, you mess up now. Oh, all of a sudden there's a sound engineer or whatever. But now they realize, like, they recognize you. But if nothing goes wrong, no one knows that you were there. Nobody cares. So they only realize when you're there. But
So what was your role mostly?
but
So this is about like the live events. Like when you guys are there, what do you do? Like do you
oh god.
what are you handling? Are you the one
Oh, okay.
mixing?
I'll
Are you
take you. I'll take you through the journey.
Yes, please.
So like it's so annoying, but if you love it, then it's not annoying for you. But like before the event, the setup team usually comes like on the Monday, right? The whole week we're setting up stage, truss, lights, whatever, and then on the day of the show, somebody has to run the show, and it could be like somebody from outside, or it could be like one of us. So sometimes you don't get a chance to go sleep. Like they'll book like places for you, but because there's so much workload, there's no time for that. When you get to the place, you can only like maybe freshen up and then you need to go back. Cause yeah, so like that has been what I've experienced, and I
And
think
so then like what is it that is so much like the setup? Like maybe what kind of event were you guys doing? Maybe if you can paint a picture for me so that I can see how big it was to take a whole week to set up.
okay. Let me name. I wanna name a big show that you might know that I've done. Let's say Ren show, yeah. Uh, and the show took about a week or so, but like the setup. So I was on screens that day. I was not doing sound. So we came the first day, setting up screens, blah blah blah. The second day, the other like the performers, they give you their content, what they want to be displayed, blah blah blah, and then we do sound checks now. Like however the show is gonna go, it's usually rehearsed.
Including what's showing in the background.
Yeah,
of
what's
the
showing in the
screens.
background, the music, and some shows there's like time codes, but most of the events don't have time codes. Mostly theatrical stuff have like time codes, stick to time, blah blah blah. So the show that you see is usually like pre-ran, even if it was not fully ran. There was like a sound check for every song. That includes lights. When this part of the song hits, what must the lights be doing? When I sing this song, so we go through a lot of that stuff before the show, and then on the show, it's never perfect. There's always something that goes not according to plan.
But
How-
you guys save it.
Yeah, but because the audience didn't know it, they don't realize it. We realize it. Or maybe somebody who's a technician watching from home, they realize. But there's always something wrong at the show. But it's, it's not always big that the crowd notices it.
I think I need to start paying more attention now that I know some stuff. Were you doing something similar with Back to the City?
With Back to the City. Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, yeah. But there I was on sound, I was running stage. Like um changeovers, let's say I don't know, Questa came performed with his band, right? When they leave, we have to change the drums. Yeah, yeah. So I was on sound, but like more stage.
Okay.
Yeah, changing that. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. How's that?
It's a lot of pressure. Like if me, like I'm somebody, I feel like I want the world like on my tip of my fingers. Like if something goes wrong, I want to be able to fix it, but because everything is happening now, it's hard to fix it. And
Can think about
yeah,
it. Yeah.
so I used to be a big critic of myself and all that, but
Have you dealt with that?
I'm working on it to chat for it. Yeah. Yeah.
You should. You should. We should be kind to ourselves. Like, should learn to be kind to ourselves. So, tell me, what is an audio technician and what is an LED screen operator?
Okay, an audio technician. An audio technician, it could be the guy running like audio now for any recording. The guy who's responsible for connecting, like making sure that the drums, the line, like the cable from the kick, for instance, it goes to the mixer exactly where it's supposed to be on the mixer. And then whoever's running the show will know, okay. So you make a list of, okay, channel one, I put what, channel two, I put what. Then you give it to whoever's operating if you are not operating yourself. So that's the role usually for the sound technician.
Okay.
And they are responsible for anything that like goes wrong regarding sound during the show. So like even when you're doing nothing, you're just standing there on standby. Like if anything goes wrong, I need to go fix it. If that mic stop working, you need to do
You have
something
another
about
one
it.
to switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's usually a sound technician's job, and then the LED technician, same thing, but just regarding screens. Sometimes you'll see an image and then there's one block that's like off. It's my job to climb, go fix that. So it's just like being on standby, making sure everything it runs smooth and people don't notice. You know, like,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
because I can imagine the hashtags if something goes wrong.
yeah.
So what do you enjoy the most about what you do, and what do you find the most challenging?
What I enjoy the most. So, because I use them hand in hand, sound and music. I don't know if I found a sweet spot, but like I put them together. So
Mhm.
it's more therapeutical for me, the music side now. Because, yeah, when I make the music now, I try to be as open as I can. I try not to give too much though, but and then the sound contribution to that question would be, like because some takes now, like when you're singing or whatever, somebody's singing, and then they make a mistake, and then it's like, oh smack, they don't need to retake it. I can fix it in this way, and then oh, it turns out to be something that sounds nicer than it would have been if
Mhm.
like they properly recorded it. So it's like it's just
You
like
love experimenting.
yeah, and it's
Yep.
like when you get there, it's like ah, I wouldn't have like even if I planned to get here, I wouldn't have got here like this. But
Mhm.
oh, I'm glad we got here, though it was not part of the plan. So I love those moments. Like even with studio sessions where there's like no planning, like we just get in, like artists come in,
Mhm.
start like maybe laying chords and then just drums, and somebody's like humming something. Oh, we gotta put words to that. Like I enjoy
It's
that.
magical.
Like for me, it's like well, I live for those moments.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
That's dope.
yeah.
So you would live just creating
Yeah,
music.
if I could, I would like
Are you
just
working
create.
on getting there though? Like getting to a
Yes.
place where you can just wake up and make music?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, more 'cause my profession is more mixing,
Mm-hmm.
né? And then whenever I make music or production with the like, it's more for me more than like the business, and
Okay. Okay, I get it.
I feel like that is growing more than the skill. So it's like, because the sound is a skill I can still do even if I'm like, because there's no retirement for us. I
Mm-hmm.
can do as long as I can hear. I'll always be able to do sound.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in music, it's firstly it's very subjective. You know. Secondly, I mean it's a young man's sport at some point. In a way. So I feel like music is more for me than for like taking it out and giving it to people. I feel like I benefit more. you know. And if
Mm-hmm.
you benefit too, okay, well, shout outs to you. But like, it's more for me.
I get it.
For me, what I wanna make, like what I wanna pursue as a career is sound. Yeah.
No, I get it. And then the challenges?
In sound or music,
Both.
both. I think I
So
did I
in
did I did mention sound like that. Oh, actually, another problem by the way. Yeah, hey, this one. I don't know. All the other producers will know. Like when you work with like a big artist and they're not that big,
mm-hmm.
and like sometimes they're not even that big, they're just big on social media. And then these people have big heads. Like, well, I don't know, maybe that's what I think. Maybe they just like how they like it, but there's a certain like, when you're mixing, you're trying to get everything to sound like like to sound together. Like you want the vocals to be
Mm-hmm.
like the first thing, blah blah blah. Like this should be the first thing that a person hears before anything. More than anything in a song, a person should hear vocals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That depends on genre. But now when you're working with an artist, some artists they're like, no, I don't want that. I want bass, bro. We're in the studio. I heard bass. Bass was more than it. I want bass. You see, like just like those kind of people, I sometimes find it hard to work with, but at the same time, I understand because I mean, it's their vision, it's their craft, and I don't wanna do too much, but like
Mm-hmm.
I wanna work with them. So yeah, I've to get rid of that problem. Actually, I've tried to grow with artists, like
Mm-hmm.
not work with people because of the numbers or whatever. Like, okay, oh, I like this person's sound. We can get in studio, make music, start mixing. Because the more we work together, like from nothing now, like, because they are big, I'm not now. You see
Yeah.
the other people. So now, when you're working with someone who's not big, just like as you're not big, we start to understand, and then,
Mm.
so when we grow
Get
together, we're gonna
perspectives of
have,
each one.
yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have our own sound. We're gonna come up with our own sound. So I like to work with people who are unknown. When we grow together, because they're also growing. I'm growing.
Mm-hmm.
Go one day we're gonna get to where you going, wherever the artist is, they're going with their sound, where I'm
Get
going with,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah. Collaborations. I'm
yeah.
for collaborations that are like that as well. What's your approach on like projects like Second Thoughts that you did with OBY, or maybe like projects like Violet?
One of those projects a lot, like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take you because okay, Violets, nah, Violets. It's songs that have, it's old songs and new songs combined together.
Mm-hmm.
I make, well, when you're in the trends, like when you I don't know if that's how I should have said that, but like when you're going through something or feeling something, you just put it there, and then you never listen to the song. And then like 3 years later, you're going through your old projects, and then you're like, oh, this song was nice. So that's how Violet came about. It's not like, well, there was two songs that were recent, but most of the songs there were old songs. That's one project now. But Second Thoughts, I enjoyed it because every song when we came there, we had a vision. Like I would ask her, like, okay, so how do, because it's a spoken word album. So like, how are you feeling? Like, what's your poem talking about? And we mostly use like colors. Like, okay, this song I want it to feel, I don't know, purple. It must feel dark. It must feel, So as we just keep browsing through sounds, through chords. Like, okay, oh, I think yeah, that feels more like it. Okay, maybe we can tweak this. That's how it was more collaboration, and we made, well, all of the songs she made with me, because it's 10 songs now. So 2 songs she got from her brother. The rest of the project was with me, and all of those songs we made from scratch. Like sometimes she would have a poem. She comes and tell me a poem, and then I'm like, oh, from what you said, this is how I felt. Do you agree? No, no, maybe we can change this. Oh, that's, and then it was more collaborative than anything. So for credit, also, I think she should also take half of the credits, like the production. Yeah, and obviously, like when guys like Nino in studio, also we also one thing how I work now, I feed off everyone's like energy in the room. Yeah, if the energy is good, we are.
The creative juices
I
start
know the song is
flowing.
gonna be nice. So there are actually guys that I work with. Um, but with the guys who work with me, it's always hard to get them in studio. I don't know why, ne?
Is it time?
Time, like everything. But when we're in the studio, I don't know. I don't remember us making a whack song in studio. But like when we're together, we always make fire. But we never get time, like to be together. It's hard.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The life of freelancing, you literally like your time is what you eat. You eat where your
That's the
time is
bar.
invested. Can you tell us more about your contributions to Ubutula and like what the process was like working with Nino?
Ugutula. Ugutula's it's mostly songs Nino came up with. He heard them in his head. I don't know how. Artist. He had things in his head, and then he came into the studio. He came to the studio, and he's like, cause, cause it's mostly he had things in his head, and then he would call like a guitarist in. Okay, this is what I hear. Let's do this, and then cool, they came up with it. So until it's what he had in his head, from the songs that I was like with when they came up, it was mostly that it was song he had before, and it was also songs like he heard from back then. He's always wanted to like lay them back, like put them in, and then eventually finally got the time to do so. But my contribution was not productional or like, well, I was a feature, but that's about it. When it comes to creativity wise, I was more in the mixing, like the technical side of things. Yeah.
How long
But
did that take you?
how long? About a week now. The mixing now, 2 weeks mixing. But because it was a live recorded show also, which was a bit tricky. So remember I told you I like to be able to make mistake and fix it. But now when it's live, you get whatever was recorded, and then there were some parts where that we had to re-record, and they sound better. Uh, yeah, I was mostly involved in the technical side of that album more than the creative side because it was visions that he saw before. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really
So
dope. Tell me about like a remarkable project that stands out, or like is that you would say is the highlight of your career.
The thing is, it's not out. Like all the fire stuff, all the music. You see, like I said, I love. Like I make music for me. You know, at first, ne, I don't know. I told you I'm a critic, right? But like I used to like make guys listen to my music,
Mm-hmm.
and then I felt like they're not getting what I'm getting. So I was like, I'm stopping at like enough of validation. I don't care. I'm making it for me. If I don't like it, then it's not gonna. So now I've gotten to a point where I just make music for me. Like maybe when I'm on my way to school, I always bump my music. I enjoy it, like so I make it for me. Maybe one day we're gonna release it. Maybe we won't. But like most of my favorite songs by me, they are not out. I'm sorry.
Is there any other project where maybe you were mixing or you were just doing sound,
Mixing.
doing anything,
Yeah,
but it's
Nikki
like
was
you really
songs.
enjoyed doing it?
Yeah, of course. Like you see, that's why my songs, like the ones where like I'm alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ones are probably these are the songs I'm talking about. But I've worked with a few artists like Nikki. Where I enjoy working with her
Mm-hmm.
when we collab.
What were you guys working on? What was the song?
We have two songs out now. Two songs out. It's Ndonebani.
Where do we listen to them?
Anyway, all digital platforms. Just Nikki G, Nikki Coleta, dope artist, and we have so much music that's not released. I hope they hear those music though, cause like it's really good. It's therapeutical too. And then currently working with other artists, but we haven't dropped. Yeah, we haven't dropped yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how has collaborations influenced your personal growth and your
Whoa.
professional outlook?
I always grow like you see. I don't know. There's something when you meet with like a dope artist, like I don't know, like yeah, I can't put it in words, but like from my first like collaboration before, because I used to make beats by myself, blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
collab with guys from the Kasi, but like from the first collaboration, that was like, oh, I like this guy's vibe, and like I feel like when we just like the song, I can't describe it. I don't know how I came up with those lyrics too. I was like, that's me. How did I even come up with that? Like, I'm not even that smart, you know. So like they always triggers,
Underestimate yourself.
yeah, they always trigger something in me that I'm like I didn't know I had. So every time I'm with a good collaborating partner, I always I feel like I've grown better than I was before the session.
So
It always yeah, it's just crazy.
that's dope. I am for collaborations. Yeah,
Yeah.
I live for them because it's like we are all a result of our experiences,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
And the experiences I will never have that other people have. So if they can borrow me their eyes, then I can
yo,
just get their perspective.
yo,
It's like I grow
yeah.
in so many ways. And so for you, when it comes to like maybe crafting beats or like I'm a beat or making your own music, what's the creative process like? Like how do you usually start?
I don't have a process actually, and because I tap into all different types. Like sometimes, like I'll start with like just the drums. I'm like, ooh, this drum. Sometimes I'll even start like from a loop, né?
Mm-hmm.
Then add drums on the loop, and then I remove the loop, and then like take the song somewhere like totally different to what it was in the beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I have a process. If it feels right, it's probably right. That's the
So your
process.
process is intuition.
Yeah, yeah,
Just listening to yourself.
yeah.
That's dope. And what are your tips for achieving top quality audio in like whether podcast or live productions?
Chips. If you recorded it right, it's definitely gonna sound right. Like you're not gonna do much in the editing part. Always record. Like capturing process is the most important part. And if you look at it, I don't wanna like take jabs on like the South African music industry or whatever. But if you listen to most of our music, it's not properly recorded and in the studios, on the post section, always trying to tweak this, tweak that, and now it's gonna be hard to add a creative taste if you're trying to fix, because you're trying to get rid of the problem. It's hard to add like a flavor, like oh I want it to sound more alien or what, because once you add that back, oh that noise just you maybe a cup was falling. Now you also amplifying that, so it's
Okay.
so if you record it right, it's gonna be easier on the editing
What's
process.
recording it right? Let's say
Um,
someone who still wants to get into sound and just like beginning. What do you mean when you say
when I
like
say that, So both the contributing parties are included. That's the recording guy, whoever's recording, and the artist who's singing. Or you can be both. Usually it's one person. Um, Obviously vocal training, blah blah blah, those things. That's what the artist needs to practice and like research about mic techniques. You know, um, same goes for the sound engineer or whatever, whoever's recording. Like, see, if we record here now, so can you hear that? Okay, now I'm going too deep. Like
It's
just
okay.
like
Please
yeah,
do that.
just like a like the it's very soft now.
I hear it.
However, as soon as I start processing that, I'm not just amplifying the voice, the vocal. Although the vocal is like the closest thing, it's gonna sound more. But the more I amplify, I'm also amplifying the A. You start to hear the A
More.
that was not as
No.
yeah, that you couldn't hear when we took the thing. So things like protecting the shielding the room, soundproof. And I know it's expensive, obviously.
It's important.
Yeah. But eventually if you can, please do it. It goes a long way. Like most of the good mixing engineers, they have their own specific recording artists. They like recording engineers they work with, because they know if it's captured right, I get to have my a larger spectrum when I mix. I get to add my own flavor. So, because like I think there's a shortage also. Like, I mean, if people are passionate enough, you can just focus on recording, and you
You think
might
there's like a space?
yeah,
There's
yeah, for good sound,
opportunities
yeah.
there.
Because good mixing engineers, like the high end guys, they they have specific people they work with. No matter how big you are, they're gonna ask you, like now as an artist, as a label going to them now, they're gonna ask you, can I please use this guy as my recording engineer? Please go to those studios, blah blah blah. So I think it's a good partnership initiative, and it's gonna help the industry grow better.
So you would encourage someone who is looking into getting into like sound or mixing to actually pursue it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, I think, yeah. Even if you're not a recording, even if you're not trying to get into recording that deep, but just research and know more about it. Yeah, it makes your life easier, and whoever you're working with, it makes it easier.
And sound is very vast also because you literally find it whether you're in radio, you're in TV, you're in film,
TV,
podcasting,
yo.
literally everything. It's Nakona, there's different
Yeah.
yeah, it's dope. I got to do it the first time I was ever exposed to like a film set. It's quite an amazing department. So how's managing sound as an in-house head of sound for a church?
It's nice, and I mean, okay, because I think at church now they have slack, right? Like they're not uptight like the people in the industry. Like 'cause when you freelance in the industry, it's your they don't care. Yeah, they don't care about your emotions. Like where you are as a person, we don't care. When you are with us, be this. That's it. You know. So I felt like when I went to church,
To see.
well, you could put it like that, but like I don't know what kind of of a person I am. Me, I look at how you treat me, and then I decide to keep you or chop you. I don't know. Yeah. So I felt like, okay, this is the right environment, and they actually care. And I because before I even got to do this professionally, I used to do it at church for like as volunteering. So I would like I got better as a sound engineer because of that, I believe. And then yeah.
And so what were you doing? Were you setting up just the mics or the
Yeah, like the guy who
organs?
changes when the pulpit, even like excluding sound now, just like stage managing, change the pulpit, blah blah blah. So, and it teaches you a lot because when you get in the industry, it's not just the pulpit. It's like the big drums, the big bass amps, the heavy what, yo. It's like yeah,
Because
but
you already understand also like scheduling,
yeah,
which
now
the pulpit needs to be moved at
yeah,
this
yeah,
time and
yeah,
moved back at this time. So now you understand the drums are off stage at this time. So it does help. That's interesting.
it was not
Actually.
something new. So I mean, I feel like it's always better when it's not like something completely new. Now you, at least you have a starting point, and then you can. work from there. So yeah.
That's dope. People should volunteer in churches actually to gain some experience.
Yeah.
What drives you to keep going?
Me. Mm. It's a deep question. What drives me? So many things, man. I want to be a dad one day. I want to have. I want to be a great father to my kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that drives me. Yeah, and like just I always try to look at where I come from and be like, oh, okay, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So like I try to motivate myself at times. That also plays a huge role in driving me as a person, like to wherever I'm going.
That's very interesting. Yeah, the kids are very lucky. They drive you before they even exist. So with technology constantly evolving, how do you stay like up to date with maybe like new trends or tools or like regarding sound engineering? Are there any recent developments also that excite you?
Yeah, it's always changing. It's always changing, and it's always nice to discover more because it's something I love.
Mhm.
There's this thing called spatial audio. Like Apple has started incorporating it, but I don't think the world is ready to go it there yet. But
Mhm.
eventually, hopefully, they will. But the thing is, so like mixing in a special studio, like it's like theater vibes, nah. It's like yo,
Where the sound moves and you can hear it
yeah,
moving.
like
Oh yeah.
there's a speaker everywhere of the room, like it's a surrounding sound, like literally at the back, the speakers, far left, like the speakers everywhere. Underneath the speakers, the sound coming from every direction to give you an experience. Yeah, like that. I don't know if it's still growing, but it's been interesting
Something you want to
to learn
explore.
about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Are you
like
currently exploring it or it's something
yeah,
you want to explore?
yeah, I'm still exploring it. Obviously, I don't have the tools for that. You can hardly get access to like let's say 5 point studio. 5 point studio means like there's five speakers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's rare to find studios that are that like wide in terms of like stereo like width, but it's I mean if I had the money, my studio would be something like that and so I like to
So not
experience
yet,
it.
but
Yeah,
you
eventually.
one day.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna come and experience it at your studio
Please,
then.
please do. Please do.
I'll pull up. What advice would you give to like young aspiring sound engineers and music producers who want to build a meaningful career in this industry?
Okay, I'm gonna give you two because I feel like I'm two people. Okay. For like for sound engineers, it's not about you. Like for all life sound engineers, it's not about you. Like the show is never. It's like if no one like notices you, be glad. Because usually when they notice you, it's because something went wrong. So as a live sound engineer, I would say like like be so smooth that's why we wear black so that we are not seen. You see, so like if they know you, then it's probably not for the good reasons. Yeah, because people who know us is like the artists, the people like the production managers, those ones fine. If they know you, you're doing something right. But if the crowd knows you, something is not right, my brother.
That's not your job.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what's next for you? Are there any upcoming projects or collaborations you're particularly excited about, excluding your private collection of music that you'll make for yourself?
Actually, I'm working with quite a few artists from my school.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm collabing a lot with my classmates actually. And then I'm working with some other artists like maybe from UJ or where, but I love collaboration and I always discover myself and I always try to work with um whoever I like their music. Like there's these other guys. I forgot their names, ne? But my friend took me to the studio and like we came up with a beat on the spot and then we did like raps and stuff. But like obviously I wanna pull up their game, but like the song's name is dangerous. Like I heard that song, I was like, oh, I like this song. I wanna work with this
What
guy.
genre is it?
I obviously hip hop,
Okay.
yeah. So like I've been working. I work a lot in studio, I'm the guy who's always initiating everything. Like, okay, oh, and maybe you see this chord with that sound. I lose myself. I don't know how I do because I'm a shy person. But I'm not shy when I'm in studio. I always feel like, okay, this is my world. Nothing is gonna catch me off guard. Like, yeah. So it's crazy.
That's dope that you have a space like that where you feel most free to just be
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I'm not always free anywhere, like everywhere in the world, but like there are spaces, and being in studio is one of those. Yeah.
That's dope. Are you planning to do any film projects in the future?
Film. I would love to do film, like whether that's like mixing or whether that's like scoring, cause yeah, as long as there's music and sound, I'm there. If like it involves being creative, I'm there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We should score one of the
Yeah.
films that I'm planning to make
Cool.
actually. How do people find you in your socials?
Socials. Yeah, I need somebody to manage marketing for me. But people can find me let's say Instagram, it's Sipho%. Same goes for Facebook. On WhatsApp, I'm kidding.
You're
TikTok,
zero
TikTok.
+27.
uh, on TikTok, I think it's also Sipho%. I try to keep it as constant as possible throughout all the social media platforms. And if you go there now, you probably won't see so much, but I promise you by December there'll be something.
No, Ngiyabonga. That's
Thank you for
as for today. Today we had a talented support percent whose work I admire a lot. If you are or you aspire to be a sound guy or girl, I hope that this has helped you in some shape or form. Thank you so much, Sipho, for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. Please make sure that you tune in first Thursday of the month for another episode. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, share, comment. If you would like to advertise your product or brand, please send us an email. If you would like to be part of our community for potential collaborations, do send us an email. The email is mamawezizwe creativeenterprise@gmail.com with a double M in the middle. This is Mamawezizwe Sibia, and I hope I am leaving you with a heart full of art. Thank you.